What's going on, my soul family? Welcome back to another episode of the Awake with Jake show. On today's episode, I drop in and do a live one on one healing session with a man named Ben, all the way from Australia. Our focus of this session was masculine pain within intimacy. This is a really exciting episode. I love putting out this type of healing work to the world to show you that there are strong masculine men who are showing up to do the work. Now, I also want to remind you that tickets for my next live event are selling out quickly. So, if you would like to come do some in person work with me and my queen Melissa for 3 days this January in Texas, go to jakewooder.com/awake to register and grab your tickets today before the spaces sell out, and they will sell out. This is going to be one hell of a party, bringing together men and women, conscious men and women from around the world. So get ready, drop in with me, get present, because this episode is packed with wisdom and healing energy for you. I hope you enjoy this show. Once again, thank you for being here. I love you and I appreciate you. So welcome to the Awake with Jake show, my brother. It's great to have you
Yeah,
here.
thank you. It's incredible to be talking to you.
So how can I help you with your journey?
Uh, I guess I've only um, recently discovered, I guess, this whole concept of masculine and feminine polarity, and in a way that really has meaning in my life. And I guess a bit of my journey to where I am. I spent about 9 years in a relationship um, where I guess subconsciously, not very consciously, but was probably operating um, quite well in a lot of ways, quite healthily in my masculine, very driven, um, really, taking care of my family, providing direction, taking care of my woman. Um, and I mean, it absolutely had my faults. And it wasn't completely healthy and balanced. But uh, when that relationship ended, I didn't realize it at the time, but it completely destroyed me. And I've gone through a period of about 4 years where now, in hindsight, I guess, kind of diving into this space and learning the things that I have, realized that the emotional wounds, I guess, that I suffered during that time in my next relationship, uh, which is somebody that I'd for years before had built an incredible friendship with, an incredible bond with, so much love, somebody that I still very much love. And I've realized that I didn't show up in that relationship. That uh, being being in a space where uh, I wasn't operating out of my masculine in a healthy way at all. I was very lost, no direction, um, no strength, financially just destroyed, no stability, provided no safe space for her. But I guess still expected her to show up um, in a feminine way for me, and didn't have the understanding that I needed to, I guess, set the tone, create an environment for her to be safe, and for her to feel safe to show up um, in a feminine way for me. Long story short, I guess I created a lot of damage in those 4 years of that relationship. And now um, being aware of all of this, being aware of this dynamic, being aware of the importance of that masculine feminine polarity. I guess, how do I move forward? And I would love to heal a lot of the hurts that were created in that 4 years. I absolutely love this person. And I'm just devastated at how I showed up for her. And yeah, I guess.
So your question is, how do I move forward from what?
How do I rebuild trust? How do I hold space?
Rebuild trust with who?
I guess with my partner. I guess we're still
Are you
still
with
in.
her now?
Um, no, we're not together, but we are going through a process of I guess trying to heal the hurts that were caused over the last 4 years, and see if there could be a future for us, if we can move past this stuff. And I guess she, and rightly so, is scared, is worried that that I can't show up in a way that she needs. And I want to. I absolutely want to show up and hold that
What are you
space.
unclear about in this moment?
Um, how to probably the hardest thing for me is I can be very reactive, and I
So give me an example of that. What does that reactiveness look like?
um
And I want you to be honest too right now.
yeah, yeah.
Don't say the right thing, say what you feel.
um,
Don't give me that bullshit. I want the real rawness. We want it. All the listeners listening right now, we want the real Ben.
yeah, yeah,
Not the held back, say the right spiritual thing, Ben. I want the realness because that's how I can help you.
yeah, yeah. Um, so I'm very aware that that I'll be tested, and that I am tested. And I guess my biggest struggle is moving past that thing that triggers me. Um, so I'll I'll be in a situation where I know I'm having my button pushed, and uh, I guess I need strategies to be able to not react to that, and just show, like, I know I need to show up in love.
All right, let's stop you right there. It's not that you need a strategy to show up in love. In order to show up in love fully, you have to heal what's causing you to not be able to show up fully.
Mm,
So when you're saying, when I'm being triggered, when I'm being tested, as you're saying it, there's probably a residue of trauma in you that you carry that's being activated in that moment that she's then reflecting back to you.
mm,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
So give me the example of something that has happened in your past with this girl that really deeply triggered you.
Um, I guess something that would trigger me would be hmm, what's a real good specific example?
It doesn't have to be the perfect example. It just has to be an example. Whatever's
Yeah,
coming through for you.
yeah, yeah. Um, So I guess one big trigger would be if we would have a disagreement, an argument turn into a fight. Um, it would get to a point where she would say things like, "I can't do this. I can't do this anymore." Um, I
As in, I can't be with you anymore.
um, that's how I would receive it, and that would I guess trigger this, like,
Is there
this
an
ability.
abandonment wound that's triggering?
Yeah, yeah.
And who abandoned you that made you feel so triggered by this?
Um, I have thought about this recently, and um, I did a breath work, a big breath work session, and I I never knew my dad. He was not a good character, and my mom kind of kept me away from him. And um, I used to think that my first real abandonment wound kind of came from when I was about 17. I moved out of home, and due to some family dynamics, I didn't see much of my mum for a couple of years. Um, but this breathwork session actually took me to my dad, and yeah, I guess that him never being around, him never really trying to make contact, um, was probably that first real feeling of somebody not being there for me.
So when that happens in a relationship, it kind of brings up that feeling of being abandoned by your father because you weren't good enough for your father's love because he left you.
Yeah, and I felt like that's a repeating pattern throughout my life where the people get to a point with me where they just give up and they just throw the towel in and um, and walk away.
Do they just throw the towel in, or are you just not fully in the relationship because you're afraid of them leaving? Do you allow yourself to fully step into the relationship, or does your fear kind of block you from stepping in fully because you're like, well, they're probably going to leave me anyway? So unconsciously, you run this pattern of they're just going to leave me anyway. So I'm not going to be fully in this relationship so I don't get hurt. It's a protective mechanism, right?
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I guess I can see how, especially after that big relationship with my kid's mum. Yeah, I can see how like I said, I just didn't show up. I just didn't show up.
And why are you afraid to show up?
It's probably that self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it?
Let me
That
ask you a question. I have something that's coming through right now. Are
mm,
you afraid of being a failure? Are you afraid of failing someone the way that your father failed you, that you feel like he failed you? So you think, well, I don't want to hurt someone the way that I felt hurt by my father abandoning me. So you don't show up as a result of that. And you have this sinking feeling that I can feel in your body right now of this energy that just sits right there. I can feel it. You can feel it.
mm,
And it's stopping you from showing up fully in the container of a relationship because you don't want to be a failure.
yeah,
You're afraid of failing someone the way that you felt failed in your childhood when you were a little boy.
yeah, and I guess you're right, and I guess I feel like I've really in all my relationships and everybody that's kind of exited my life, I feel that I feel ownership of that. I feel that it's because it is because of me. It is because I haven't been good enough in some way, um, Why else? Why else would people not want to be in my life?
Do you feel worthy of being loved?
Um, Not all the time. Not all the time, I guess.
And why do you not feel worthy of being loved?
um, I guess I feel like I just let a lot of people down.
But who are you letting down the most?
Well, I feel like I'm letting down, my kids, my partner. Um,
How about the person looking in the mirror? How about the big guy looking in the mirror
mm,
that you often don't want to look at? Because what you
uh,
see a lot of times when you see yourself is like this failed version of yourself,
mm,
like because you aren't good enough. And that's the pattern that you have in your mind of never being good enough because your father abandoned you, which made you feel not good enough of love. And whatever you do, you're most of what you do, you're seeking this approval from other people. Why won't you love me?
yeah. I've really struggled with the whole concept of self-love. Um, I it's one of those things people kind of have said and thrown out, and I've heard 100 times. You've got to love yourself before you can love anyone else, and the whole concept hasn't hit home for me.
Well, it's kind of like
Uh,
spiritual bypassing. It's really easy just to throw that out there and say, "Oh yeah, you got to love yourself." Yeah. All right, cool. But what does that actually mean though?
yeah.
What is self-love? To me, it's when you step into your healing and let go of the pain that you carry. So
Mm,
because you have like this lack of trust for masculine energy from your father, you actually don't trust your own masculinity to step fully into the container of the relationship because you're afraid that you'll abandon it the way that you were abandoned.
yeah.
So you're kind of half in, half out. But what I feel is you're not a half in, half out kind of guy. That's just a pattern that you've developed. So
Mm,
you're not this wishy-washy type guy. You're a committed, devoted guy. But when it comes to intimacy, you're kind of half in, half out. But I don't see you as that. I see you as this man with a big heart, good presence. You think about things, you reflect on things. But for some reason, when you get into an intimate relationship with the feminine,
mm,
you kind of just throw everything out that you know, and you're like half in, half out. Do I fully commit? Do I not? And you're afraid to show up fully. You don't really trust yourself. You don't trust your own masculinity.
yeah. Yeah. And I think, yeah, I think you're right. And I guess it's easy for me to kind of look at my life, look at my childhood, and um, I, I guess I went on a bit of a journey recently, and it, it kind of showed me my lineage in the sense that I don't really have any strong connection to any masculine energy in my life. I was raised very much by my mother, by my grandmother. I have a really deep and profound respect and love for the feminine, um, but don't know how to serve that as a man, as the masculine. And I guess it's why I've kind of thrown myself into learning all I can about it now, because yeah, I don't know. Um, I haven't really seen it in action. I haven't seen an example of it in my life.
Ben, you are a strong masculine man. You have a divine masculine presence. Because you have such a deep love for the feminine, that right there is showing me that you have strong divine masculine energy. It's already within you. You're saying to yourself, I don't have any connection to this strong masculine energy. You are already that. So when you embody that fully, watch how everything starts to change. But it's almost like if you're afraid to embody it fully, you don't get to feel the fullness of that masculinity
Mm.
because you don't trust it. Because it's always been kind of wobbly and shaky in your life. So that's
Yeah,
how it kind of feels within yourself. Like at a mind level, you understand the masculine, right? But you haven't got it down into the body yet, which is the embodiment of your divine masculine energy.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
because you've never been shown healthy masculine energy doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Mm.
You are the one that's healing so much, not only within your family, but also within the collective masculine energy. You're waking up to this masculine presence within you, but you keep doubting it because
Yeah,
you've not trusted it your entire life, rightfully so, right?
yeah.
Like if you had a stool that you were looking at right now to go stand on and one of the legs was broken, you're going to think, well, I don't really know if I can stand on it. It might break. And that's
Mm.
kind of how you're trying to figure out your masculine energy right now. So when you get into a relationship with the feminine, if you're not certain about your masculine energy, how can she be?
Yeah, yeah,
If you're not grounded and present and open to your masculine energy, then how can she be?
yeah,
Now, of course, she has her work to do as well, but talking about you in this moment with your masculine energy and your direction, your masculine direction, which
yeah.
something else that's coming through right now is there's a line. It's like what I see is a line, an energetic line that blocks your vision from being crystal clear. So you kind of second guess things. You're always second guessing things. And because you doubt yourself, because you doubt your direction, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you doubt yourself?
I feel like I'm almost 40, and I've worked hard in my life. I've pushed and pushed and pushed, and just don't I just don't feel like I've succeeded. I don't feel like I have the rewards for the effort that I've put into anything, and I guess I doubt. I doubt if I have the capacity to make things work at times, in business, in relationships, um, in friendships, in anything, and I guess I when you do something and you succeed, you see the results, and you go, yeah, I can do that again, and I can do that again, and just I don't know, I just don't feel like I've ever had that breakthrough, no matter how hard I've tried and matter how hard I've worked and pushed.
Because nothing's
Um,
ever good enough, because you don't feel good enough, because you never had that love and approval from your father.
mm,
So no matter what you do, always seeking the external approval, it's never good enough because internally you don't feel good enough. So no matter how much success, in air quotes, I say that
yeah,
you've achieved in this life, it still won't feel enough until you feel enough.
mm, yeah.
What is success to you?
guess it's achieving the thing that you set out to achieve. Like if I've said, I want to have a business that turns over this, or I want to have this kind of relationship, or I want I want this for my kids. Um, I guess for me, success is achieving the goal.
Do you
Um,
see how when you speak of success, it's everything outside of you? So do you see how you chase validation from the external world and it can never validate you from within? Everything you just named is outside of you.
yeah,
Successful business, happy kids, happy relationship. It's all outside of you. It's all the external. How about feeling good within yourself? I would say that's success. How about being happy, feeling love, feeling presence, feeling freedom,
mm,
feeling like you have a mission, a meaningful mission? You base so much of your worth in the external world.
yeah, I guess
And
I
then
do.
the doubtful part of your mind is always finding ways to validate you being a failure.
Mm,
So no matter what you do, because you have this program, this template, really what it is, a broken template of feeling like a failure. And you've almost abandoned yourself at this point,
yeah,
but not fully, because inside of you, there's this little boy that is just waiting for you to reconnect with him, to feel that joy and playfulness, to feel that freedom. The little boy inside of you that feels abandoned.
mm,
So here's what we're going to do in this moment. I want you to close your eyes and just soften into your body in this moment. And for everyone listening right now, may you just hold space for Ben, or you can join this exercise with him. What I want you to do is just to fully surrender your guard in this moment. Allow yourself to really open to what is locked inside of you. Just let your shoulders down, relax the tension in your body, just gently breathing into your body. And through your nose, out through your mouth, and just gently being with yourself. Not having to have it all figured out right now, not having to be perfect. Just letting all of that go. Letting go the fear of failure or the fear of looking stupid. And as you continue connecting with your body, just breathing down into your body, breathing into your heart, grounding yourself in this moment to know that you are safe, you are supported, you are loved, and you are enough. And I want to go on a journey with you in this moment, all the way back to when you were 5 years old as a little boy, seeing this little boy and as happy and as loving as this boy was, somewhere along his timeline, there is a thread of deep pain here. And this pain has caused him to not feel enough, to always be alert and on guard, to overprotect himself, and to not trust himself, and to doubt himself, and to second guess himself. And there's almost this dark cloud like energy that surrounds him because he feels afraid. And this dark cloud is his fear. So he starts to abandon himself, he starts to run from himself. And because your father wasn't present with you, you feel abandoned by the masculine energy. You feel untrusting of the masculine energy to show up, to protect you, to support you, to love you. And I want you to repeat the words out loud after me. I give myself permission to feel my pain.
Give myself permission to feel my pain.
I give myself permission to feel my pain.
I give myself permission to feel my pain.
Just continue breathing, softening, and opening. I give myself permission to feel my pain.
I give myself permission to feel my pain.
Keeping your eyes closed, what are you feeling in this moment? What are you feeling fear around?
Just being enough.
And why don't you feel enough?
Because I feel like there has to be something about me that makes me enough.
And who were you never enough for?
Anybody?
Are you angry at your father for abandoning you?
I don't think I'm angry.
What do you feel then?
Um,
Are you sad?
yeah, and sadness and disappointment. I think
And if your dad were to be here right now, if I was to enroll as your father energy, what would you say to me in this moment that you need to say to get off your chest?
that I'm sad that I never got to know you, and that I'll never get to know you. And it would have been okay. It would have been okay for you to be in my life, to show up just how you were. That you didn't have to be perfect for me, you just had to be there.
What are you afraid to let go of in this moment?
The expectations on myself.
What if you were to let them go?
I'd be free.
And what blocks you from being free?
The expectations I put on myself.
Is it because you doubt yourself? Constantly in your mind, just doubting yourself, never feeling good enough no matter what you do, and feeling like a failure. Do you fear being a failure?
Yeah.
And why are you afraid of being a failure?
I guess how can I be loved?
Have you ever loved someone that wasn't absolutely perfect?
Yeah.
Have you ever met someone that was absolutely perfect? Tell me about your mother. What's your relationship like with her?
It's good. It's good. Um, where yeah, I guess we've always been close. And yeah, for most of my life, she's been more like a friend. I've been very open with her, been able to be very honest with her, which I'm sure has tortured her at times. Um, but um, yeah, I mean, for most of my life, she's been there, and she's been you know somebody I can rely on.
Do you feel like you've forgiven your dad for not being there?
to be honest, until probably about a month ago, I didn't think that I had to. I he was a drug addict and in and out of jail, and um, mum mum kept me away from him and that lifestyle, and I always respected that. And in a way, I thought I respected him for keeping his distance as well. Um, and it wasn't until I guess that breathwork session that I did that took me to him, and I realized that I had things to say. He passed away when I was 16, so I never got the chance to really meet him, and I'll never get the chance. Yeah, up until recently, I thought I was okay with it. I'm obviously not.
That's okay. We all have our pain and stuff that we've dealt with in life. And our willingness to embrace that allows us to be free from it. And even within your healing, there's a part of you that's afraid to go fully into it because you're afraid to fail doing so. So even in this game, it's blocking you here.
Mm,
And it does the same thing in your relationships. You're afraid to fail in your relationships. Specifically, in your intimate relationship
mm,
with the feminine, because you don't want to let her down the way that you felt let down in your life and disappointment.
mm.
And it's almost like you feel betrayed by the masculine. Like, why weren't you here with me? Like, what the fuck did I do wrong to make you abandon me? And that hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't trust it. And I don't.
And I think there's more anger there than you realize.
Mm,
And I think that there's a shadow aspect of you that holds on to this anger. And you really want to let it go, but you're almost afraid to let it go because you wouldn't even know who you were without this. So you get so hard on yourself because you're so critical of yourself about failing. And everything has to be perfect and it's not, you feel like a failure. But we live in this imperfect world.
yeah.
This dimension is imperfect. That's the beauty of it. That's what makes us human.
Mm.
Have you ever allowed yourself to really let out the sadness and the hurt that you feel? Or have you just bottled up for almost 40 years?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so much so I didn't even real like I said, I did until probably about a month ago. I didn't even think I had to.
What
I've
causes you to
always,
be reactive is the pain that you harbor inside of your body. So when you're hyper reactive and you're hypersensitive, it's often showing you a pain and trauma that you've stored in your body, which is the unresolved hurt and the anger that you hold on to toward the masculine.
how do I
So
fix that?
there's a conflict, right? There's a conflict between you wanting to be loving and conscious and present, which is really what your divine masculine energy is, But then there's the wounded part of yourself that says, well, you're not good enough. You'll fail. And I don't trust you. Right. So you see how there's a conflict and clashing between your
Yeah.
energy,
Yeah.
which is really like the split of the ego.
Mm, yeah. Because I do. I in my head, I wanna be all those things. I wanna be present. I want to hold space. I want to be strong. I want to be I want to be in a healthy masculine space. For a partner, for my kids. Um,
But in order to do that, if you're holding on to unhealthy feminine emotions, toxic emotions, which is unhealthy feminine energy, right?
mm,
You can't be healthy masculine. That's what
yeah,
most men don't understand is if you want to be healthy masculine energy, you have to integrate with your feminine emotions. And the integration process is a healing process. So if you're holding on to toxic emotions, how can you be healthy masculine?
yeah,
So the anger, the betrayal, the disappointment, the fear of failure, all that stuff that you hold on to emotionally, bottled up inside of you that you never really fully let go of, is not allowing you to step fully into your divine masculine.
yeah,
And then when the feminine comes to you and she expresses emotions because you're not integrated with your emotions, you either probably abandon it or try to control it and repress it. Like, stop doing
mm,
that. That makes me feel uncomfortable. And that's what a lot of men do, a lot of masculine people do.
yeah, yeah. And guess that's a pattern that I have seen in myself is that that I haven't been able to hold space um, when a partner shows up in that way. I want to, like up here, even in here, I want to. Uh, I just it does it triggers me, and can't I can't hold the space. And yeah, I know something needs to change for me to be able to do that. Um,
It triggers you because you don't hold the space for yourself.
mm,
And the reason why you can't hold the space for her is because you haven't learned how to hold the space for yourself to feel your emotions in a safe way. Because it's never been safe to feel your emotions, right?
yeah,
So, how can you give to her what you haven't done for yourself? How can you hold her emotions if you can't even hold your own? And it's not that you can't, it's just you haven't learned how to,
mm,
because you absolutely can. So, let's practice that in this moment. Let's practice you holding space for your own emotions and what that looks like.
yeah, awesome.
So what I want to do is I want to bring you into a state of, well, feeling first of all, but also radical honesty and vulnerability. And this is not going to be comfortable for you, and it may not even be comfortable for the people listening right now, but we don't care about that because we're here for change and transformation, right?
Mm,
What I want you to do is close your eyes. I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth on my cadence. Okay. So breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in through your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in deeper. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Going deeper. 4, breathing in. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulling deeper from the lower belly. Breathing in through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhaling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. Breathing in through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale through the mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Hold, 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 and release through the mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom, breathing, pushing it all out. 4, breathing in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Exhale through the mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing into the nose. Last time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Out through the mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping your eyes closed, what I want you to do is you're going to breathe in fast through your nose, filling up the lungs quickly. And then as you release, you're going to let your tongue out of your mouth. And this is a primal breath that we're going to do. This is priming your emotions. So breathing in fast, filling up quick through the nose. And then as you release, you're releasing primally through your mouth, dropping your tongue down. So breathing in and then out through the mouth. Deeper. I want more primalness to it. Breathing in and now out. Good. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, deeper. Out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Very good. Keeping your eyes closed. What I want you to do is just shake your hands out. Shake your body out a little bit. Let it out. Let it out. And now what I want you to do is to go into that spot, feeling held, feeling supported. That feels angry. That feels sad. And what does that feel like in your body? And how does that manifest coming out and releasing? Allow yourself to express this. Allow yourself to feel it. What is it in your body that needs to be let go of? Is it anger towards your father? Is it anger towards yourself? What are you holding on to in this moment? Is it that you feel like a fucking failure? What is it that you're angry about? Going into this pain, you can do this, Ben. Feel this anger, feel this sadness, feel this hurt. It's been bottled up inside you for too long. It wants to be let go of. Don't fight these emotions. Allow them to come up and be released. It's just you and me here right now, brother. I got you. If you want to yell, yell. If you want to cry, cry. Let it out. No more holding on to this. No more bottling this up. It's time to let it go. Breathe into it and let it out. Feel it and let it go. Come on. Get into it. Feel that darkness. Feel that rage and let it go. This no longer serves you. What I want you to do is just gently tap on your chest with your fist. And I want you to feel whatever you need to feel and let it out. Let that primal nature out. Breathe into it. You are safe to feel this. You are safe to feel the sadness or this anger that you feel. Relaxing your hands. That little boy inside of you feels abandoned right now. He needs your love. He needs your support. He feels hurt, feels abandoned. And what do you need to say to him in this moment?
It's okay. It's okay. You're okay.
What I want you to do is visualize reaching out and pulling this little boy into you, feeling the love and the playfulness and the joy returning to you, reconnecting with him, feeling safe, feeling seen, feeling worthy, feeling loved, no longer abandoning yourself. Just seeing the smile on his face, feeling your joy return to you, feeling the openness of your heart and the love that wants to pour through you, and embracing all of it and trusting that it's not going to leave you. This is no longer going to abandon you. This love is you. You are the love that you seek. Great job, my brother. There's that smile, that genuine, gentle smile from Big Ben.
Wow.
Now, how do you feel?
uh, lighter. I feel lighter. I I saw myself as my own father. And I think for the first time in my life, I realized what holding space for myself looks like.
Wow. That brings tears to my eyes, man. That is so beautiful. Wow.
Man.
I think we as men can all benefit from learning how to hold space for ourselves and not projecting our anger and ego out into the world. I'm so fucking proud of you, man. You have no idea how many people this is going to help. people that don't even know that it's going to help. Got me
Oh.
tearing up over here now.
Oh, wow.
You don't feel like a failure right now, do you?
No, I don't. I don't.
And you probably feel clear.
Mm.
Once you purge that, continue to purge, you're activating it now. Once you continue to purge that, you get more clarity, more freedom within yourself, and you stop doubting yourself because you're purifying those negative emotions that doubt you, that hinder you.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have the foundation, you have everything that you require to be a conscious masculine man.
Mm.
This is just a piece in this. Years ago when I was boxing, I had this amazing boxing coach come over to me. He was taking an interest in me in the ring or in the gym. And he said, you got the foundation. We've looked under the hood and you've got what it takes. Now you just got to work on it. And that always stuck with me because
Mm.
we have what it takes to feel good, to be free in this life. And you have what it takes specifically in this moment. Sometimes you just got to work at it. Sometimes you just got to practice believing in yourself because you have a great presence about you. You have great energy. And the world needs all of that, right? Especially in these times. We need men like yourself to continue to rise up, to be vulnerable, to be strong, but gentle, not be afraid to feel their stuff. And that's why
Mm.
I'm so proud of you right now, because you are really one of the pioneers of men that are stepping into this.
Thank you.
You're the first of many, my brother.
Thanks. It's it's yeah, it's what I want. I want to like I said before, like I want to hold this space and
So
not.
rephrase that to I'm going to hold this space
Mm. Mm.
and delete the words I guess out of your vocabulary. Because with
Yeah.
guessing comes doubt where you're not really fully sure.
Mm. Yeah.
Next time you say, I guess, remember me in your ear saying, delete that shit. Ben, delete that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're the type of guy from now on moving forward where you're all in or you're not at all. There's no more in between stuff. There's no more half-assing stuff.
Yeah.
You're moving all in on something or you're not at all. And you're committed and you're devoted to the mission. That is the mission, whatever that mission unfolds as. And you'll see how much your life changes by making a full commitment instead of 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out. We're not
Yeah.
tiptoeing anymore. Ben is no longer a tiptoer. He's no longer a guesser.
Mm.
He's clear with his direction. He knows where he's going, how he's going to get there. And it's okay if at times you're not, because you're going to have times where you're not clear with your direction. I have times where I'm not clear with my direction, but I will find a way to make it work. I will
Yeah.
find a way through this, and you will too. That is the masculine way.
Yeah.
You have the strength and the courage, my man. Now just apply it fully.
Mm.
And I know you will.
I will.
So moving forward, how can the listeners, how can they connect with you if they wanted to reach out? What's your Instagram handle?
Instagram is Ben Allen Life. That's Allen Allan. Yeah.
Life or live? LIVE or LIFE?
Life. Ben
So,
Allen Life.
all right. Ben Allen Life on Instagram. Man, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your courage.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you for having me on and yeah, imparting that. Um, yeah, wow. That was powerful stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode. I hope that it brought you a ton of value. Once again, if you would like to come do some in person work with me, go to jakewoodard.com/awake to register and grab your tickets today. As always, stay open, stay loving, and stay connected to that beautiful source within you.